Hey, greetings, creepers. This is Dr. Leech, the Leech Doctor from DailyNightmare.com, and I am opening yet another piece of art, actually. And this is, I feel pretty confident saying, this is the weirdest piece of art that I have yet commissioned. And you know from other videos that I love art. I love talking with artists. I love commissioning art. I like, man, my idea of the afterlife would be an art fair where, you know how 90% of everything is crap? How those folks aren't there, but it's the 10% who aren't crap, and just going from stall to stall, talking with folks about what makes them on fire and passionate about what they do and how they make the art and are creative and stuff. And this is a hey, so this is a portrait I had commissioned of myself, but it's not a what is so weird, one might ask, about a portrait. Well, it's not a portrait of my fleshly body. It is a portrait of my subtle body. And to explain that, I'm going to back up just a little bit. It's probably no secret that last January I had a heart attack, minor little heart attack, and that prompted a bunch of changes in my life. I've started exercising. I've started paying more attention to the world, and I have also become aware, let's just say, of how truly weird the world is. Not just the world out there, but also the weird world in here. And I've always had sort of an awareness of how weird that world is. I mean, I started this website, Daily Nightmare, based on my extremely spicy dream life, shall we say. I have very frequently have wild imagery soaked dreams, muy caliente dreams. I don't know if they're all exactly nightmares. They are certainly well-produced Technicolor dreams. And then a few years ago, probably about 7 years ago, I started meditating, and then also expanded my sense of the weird structures and behavior, let's just say, of who I am. It's not just the flesh and blood stuff. So actually, yeah, wow, this is a real discursus. When I started meditating, when I became aware of these internal realities, this strange territory, I started writing poetry about it, because that's sort of what I do. And I came across some artists who seem to be aware of the same sort of inner geography, let's just say. But instead of writing poems about this stuff, they draw pictures of it. I met Gryphon Mandrakken. I'll have links in the show notes. I met him at a convention I was at earlier this year, but and where he was doing portraits of the subtle body. There was also Cat Mason. I will also have links in the show notes. But since it was a convention, there were about a gabillion things to be doing other than sitting still for someone to do this thing. So I missed out on that opportunity, but I did take up an opportunity to do their Kickstarter. They had a Kickstarter X amount of time ago, a couple months ago, where they were trying to fund upgrading their technology so they could do their portraits in a cooler way. And this is the premium I got from that Kickstarter. Wow. This unboxing, I believe, is the one where I've talked the most before I've started actually unboxing. Happy Knife is trying to skewer this. Anyways, so I met up with Gryphon at another event about a month ago, where he did a sketch of my subtle body, unaware. I wasn't like posing or anything, I don't think. I don't have to do that, do I? And so he sent me a sketch of the subtle body of the sketch, and this is well packaged packing material. Oh, and the tube. Anyways, and so he then most recently sent me a digital printout or a digital file of the sketch, which had all sorts of incredibly interesting stuff. it was really bizarre because it seemed like he knew me, or at least he was aware of certain things that I've sensed on my insides. But since it was visual and not verbal, it was different than the poetry stuff. Anyways, and so this is the a printout of the final portrait. Let us see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is very cool. Oh. So it's got a couple things here. It has the portrait itself. I'm going to have a different kind of scan of this, and it's on this really nice, like vinyl. Anyways. What's really intriguing about this is that you may have heard of like descriptions of chakras or different kinds of things. What's really cool about this portrait is just how, just like our meat bodies are individual and different, our subtle bodies, at least many of us, are more unique too. There are subtle variations and stuff. So in the least, this is a cool picture, right? And actually, I might, for y'all, I might just leave it at that. I'm going to put this on my wall, and people will be saying like, "Hey, what the heck is up with that?" But there's also, I bet this is. Oh yeah. So this is a printout of the sketch he made too. That has all manner of interesting observations. This is the thing that actually I was most intrigued by. So now you're skeptical. I can tell. I can hear you thinking out there because I'm not psychic like that. But you're skeptical about this, and there is a sense, at least, that some folks can be aware of different kinds of realities, right? Like my mother, always throughout her entire life, knew which direction she was facing, right? She knew if it was east or west or whatever. Elsa knows where she is on a map. Geographically, she's just wonderful like that. But she has no idea where she is when she goes inside a building. And I do. When I'm inside a building, I know implicitly where I am. And I credit my misspent years at playing Dungeons and Dragons, where you immediately had to map an interior space. Elsa didn't wasted her life doing other things, maybe like driving, and so doesn't have that same sort of sense. There are certain different kinds of awarenesses like that we have that we probably don't talk about. Since my heart attack, I have come across folks who talk about that stuff, who talk about the different kinds of awarenesses of how we are in the world and how we are in ourselves. There's one strand of talking about it in terms of energy, and I hate using the word energy to describe this stuff because for about 37 different reasons that I won't talk about here. But chi or life force, or there you got to talk about some kind of a noun. I just don't like using the word energy to describe that noun. So a subtle body, that strikes me as a really intriguing way to talk about these interior, like enduring interior realities. And so I'm totally excited by this. Like I said, I have come across a bunch of folks who are in discussions with this sort of thing, and yes, because I went crazy when I had my heart attack. That's about it. I'm going to be framing this and putting it on. Honestly, we have a whole wall of portraits of folks, and it's going to go there, and people are going to scratch their head and say, "What the hell is that?" And then I'll have to tell them a story that's about as loopy and rambling as this story is. This has been Dr. Leech, the Leech Doctor from DailyNightmare.com. Like I said, if you are interested in getting a portrait of your subtle body, I'm going to include links to both Cat and Gryphon stuff. Gryphon is more structural, maybe. His visions are a little bit more the enduring organs, sure. Where a Cat's work, I think, or this is the way I would put language on it, it's more like the way the stuff flows. Wow. I love it when language breaks down. And on that note, that's what I'll put the t-shirt would be for this thing. I love it when language breaks down. I will talk to you soon.